trying to put a nuclear reactor on the moon, and they're promising that within the next 5 years. So, Transportation Secretary and Acting NASA Administrator Sean Duffy, according to Politico, is set to unveil a bold new initiative this week, an accelerated plan to deploy a nuclear reactor on the moon by 2030. The directive, which, as I said, was first reported by Politico in a memo draft they received, signals a dramatic escalation in the United States space ambitions and is seen by senior NASA officials as a bid to win the second space race amid rising competition from China and Russia. China and Russia are jointly working on a project to build their own nuclear reactor on the moon, and the American government fears that if they do that before us, they could create no-go zones on the moon that would limit our ability to explore and carry out operations. Now, my initial thought was, why would we build a power plant on the moon? It's not like we can just run cables from there back here to get the power. It's not to power anything on Earth. It's to serve as the basis for human bases on the moon for lunar exploration as well as future launches into space, potentially from the moon rather than from Earth. The 100-kilowatt fission reactor would power sustained human activity on the lunar surface, including habitats and industrial operations, and help pave the way for future missions to Mars. So it's a very ambitious project. NASA has toyed with this idea for quite a while, didn't have the funding, but now Duffy has put an actual concrete timeline on it, saying within 5 years, we will have plans to begin constructing a pretty significant nuclear reactor on the moon. What do you guys think? Is this possible? Is this the thing we should be doing? Can we even get to the moon?
How about
Discuss.
we start building some on Earth first? Like we haven't built nuclear reactors in the United States in decades. So I mean, yeah, sure, go for it, guys. Like let's see it. I mean, 5 years for a plan. Well, I thought you were gonna say 5 years and they'll have it done, but like it's gonna take 5 years.
Oh no,
to make a plan.
they have a plan to deploy a nuclear reactor on the moon by 2030. So within 5 years, construction will begin on the moon.
Yeah, okay, do it. Let's see it. I don't think that they're capable of doing it. I don't think that we're allowed on the moon like that. I don't think that China and Russia are capable of doing it. So no, I don't think that we're gonna do it.
I have to agree with Brandon.
It's so stupid.
Oh,
we're
my
not
God.
allowed on the moon.
No, but the thing is, okay, I mean, war is going to space. We know that, all right?
Mm-hmm.
If we are the only ones that can do it, let's do it, all right? Because it will give us an unfair advantage. We're going to put like lasers on it or like something really cool there, you know? And then I'm from like my policy, if you can't do it, do it, all right? That's why we went to the moon. That's why, you know.
Yeah, we got enough money.
Yeah,
we haven't
just
spent
do it.
We haven't spent
But
money
at
on
the
stupid
same
things
time,
in a while.
the most pressing crisis right now is the lack of nuclear plants in America. Like, what are we doing? Like, the thing is that AI is going to be the big war that is coming up, all right? And China, we have better chips, but because they're
we keep
more
giving
efficient.
them away, though.
Yeah, we keep giving, but we have more efficient chips, all right? But it's going to get to the point that China will be able to raw power us out of the equation. So I like where this is going. Like more plants, even if it's in the moon, I'm for it, Brandon.
Yeah, I mean, it's just a matter of we haven't built any here in a very long time.
We do,
so
and we're falling behind on nuclear tech as well.
Why are we trying to do that on the moon when we haven't done it here?
Brandon, listen, all these things are not linear.
And we're not even allowed on the moon, so...
But
you've said that a couple times. Like, qualify that real quick before we go back to who's not allowing us on the moon?
Well, humans clearly aren't allowed on the moon. That's what happened when we went there. Like, there's NASA transcripts of the NASA guy saying, like, yeah, it looks like there's other life forms here with like other ships and other beings, and you know, there's a lot of scientific evidence to show that the moon is not a planet, it's not a rock, it's like a metal object that. Something weird's going on with it. It seems like some sort of life forms live in them, like it's observing us or something. So I don't think that we're allowed on the moon. I say to these guys, like, yeah, go ahead, I dare you, show us that you built something on the moon, and then prove it. Because I don't think that we're allowed on the moon. Because I think something more powerful than us lives on the moon and watches us.
Okay, so on that point, building a nuclear reactor on the moon by 2030 implies that we will be able to step foot on the moon before 2030.
Yeah.
And, you know,
which we haven't since we supposedly went the first time.
There's the Artemis project that's, like, going to be the new Apollo mission that NASA is currently working on. That's to return us to the moon within the next couple of years.
Because we lost the technology to do it in the meantime.
And it's like this whole big thing. And honestly, like, as someone who sees the validity of questioning the moon landing but wants to believe in it, because I believe we went to the moon, And I believe we lost the ambition long before we lost the technology, because we came back from the moon and decided to prioritize other things, including making the entire planet one massive welfare state rather than the ambition of going there.
Yep.
But I like the fact that they are saying this is the new space race. We are now competing with Russia and China to get to the moon, because that's what got us there in the first place.
Yep.
On the presupposition that the moon landing is legitimate, which is what I'm operating under right now.
No, that's what America operates under, right?
America went to the moon not for the sake of exploring, not for the triumph of humanity, but to beat Russia.
Yeah.
We went to the moon because we were told, if we don't, the Russians will get there first, and that will not only be a major political defeat for us because they'll look better than us, but also we lose a strategic advantage if they're able to start developing things in space and we are not.
Like a nuclear reactor in the moon.
Yeah.
I'm sorry,
All right,
I'm being the pessimist today.
Oh, Brandon.
But so, like, we immediately after the moon mission, and we got back and then began additional space exploration, it shifted, and now space is viewed as this whole of humanity kind of project. You know, like there's just one international space station. There's not every nation doesn't have their own. Whether you're Russian, Chinese, Indian, Vietnamese, American, everybody gets on a rocket and goes up to the same space station, where it's this collaborative effort that's going to make humanity all together ready to go to space. And it's like, well, you've removed the competitive incentive to do anything. And now there's actually a legitimate threat by nations that are once again hostile to us, that might have their eyes set on space. Yeah, there's a competitive reason again.
You know what pisses me off, though, is that, like, it never had to be that way. And I mean, all right, whatever. If we needed a fake Cold War to get the space race going, to get the juices flowing, and to get us motivated to go to space, like, was that worth the fake Cold War that cost us trillions of dollars and a lot of wasted time? Because the Cold War was bullshit. Russia would have never existed or been strong without us. Like, Russia USSR was literally having food shortages in the 30s. We were giving them food subsidies. They had no capacity to build semiconductors in the 70s and 80s. We gave them the capacity to do that. We gave them the technology. So we were propping them up the entire time we were in this fake-ass Cold War. So, like, forgive me if I don't take that
Brandon,
shit seriously.
Listen.
What?
I'm not saying this is one-to-one, but when you're pushing...
Because we did the same thing for China. That's why it's one-to-one.
Like, I'm on
China exists completely because of us and what we've given them.
Well, but when you're pushing the limits of the human experience to like as much as you can push them.
We're not, though.
But we will, all right? And
what do you mean we kill people who make really cool, impressive technology? What do you mean we're pushing the limits of the human race?
Out of the moon, let me list you some. Like, out of the moon race, you had memory foam, cordless tools, digital camera sensors, scratch-resistant lenses, water filtration system, freeze-dried food.
During war, you'd have new technology development.
Fire-resistant materials, shock absorbers. So, like, the number of side products that we will get with this race, I think, I don't know.
Yeah, war makes that happen. Whenever you have a war, you have a lot of technological innovation.
Yeah.
Yeah, but, like, is this the battle we need to be fighting when our middle class is decimated? Like, because this is going to cost a lot of money. Like,
that is exactly the logic that undermined us after the first moon mission. If you'll recall, right after that happened, a bunch of newspapers published a poem by a black activist called Whitey on the Moon, where the point of this poem was basically like, yeah, I can't feed my kids and all this stuff's going on and everybody's racist, but what do I care when Whitey's on the moon? But that was literally the shift. All the protests immediately picked up on, you know, you're sending people to the moon when, you know, there's no affordable housing in the inner city, and, you know, the welfare programs are being undermined in order to fund the space explorations.
Because deficit spending.
Yeah, we shifted away from the ambition of getting to space to exploration for the sake of exploration in order to prop up all these. So you're making the economic argument of, well, we can't dare to dream of anything beyond our planet until every single person is lifted out of poverty by economic stimulus.
Yeah.
No, I'm saying economic stimulus is what put people out of the middle class. And we can't. We're not going to be a serious country if we keep decimating the middle class. We're going to be a socialist country.
Brandon, it's not serious anymore. Like, there's more.
But it's time to put a nuclear reactor on the moon when we're not serious.
Well, that's more serious, more achievable.
It's not. It's ridiculous. We don't even have a nuclear reactor here.
Well, then to that, what Humberto was saying earlier, all the products that were spun out of the space race that benefited the world just from existing, they're going to have to build nuclear reactors somewhere in order to begin testing and developing the thing they're going to put on the moon.
We're going to get better.
Trump has talked about how he wants more nuclear reactors. He's not nearly pro-nuclear enough.
Because Silicon Valley wants it now.
The thing is, we're so behind on nuclear reactor technology. Like the Chinese already have thorium reactors running, like at a quarter of the cost, way more efficient. We need to put our
we've lobbied against it for decades.
Like, but Brandon, like most people that want to get fit, they go like, oh, I'm going to run the half marathon of New York. Running the half marathon is stupid, all right? There's no point to it. But getting your ass and waking up at 6 a.m. and putting a mile in every day is important. Like,
And that's what you think this is?
Yeah, we're setting a goal.
No, this is the stupid marathon.
No, this is a super marathon. But on the way, you got your ass out of bed at 6 a.m. and you went and did 3 miles every day for the next 6 months and you got in shape.
We better have like 3 solid nuclear reactors in every state before we dare put one on the moon.
But you don't think we're gonna get better nuclear reactors? Like, we're so behind on that tech, Brandon.
Yeah,
we need to put a post somewhere and go like, okay, we're gonna go over there. We're gonna go over there, and these are the steps. Like with the tech we're gonna build to get there, that's an important thing because we need to set a goal somewhere, Brandon. If you don't set a goal, you never.
Right, but so like, why are we speaking about this before we're speaking about having them in America? Like I've heard little trickles of it from Amazon and from Google because they want to build their AI stuff, but not from the president.
Yeah, and that is a very important point of it. Like, it can't just be this far-flung thing where the moon gets a nuclear reactor, but we're here on like coal power plants or shifting to windmills.
Yeah, and having blackouts and brownouts everywhere.
Yeah, California has scheduled rolling blackouts, and you can't run your air conditioner because they shifted to green energy to try to cut down on wildfires.
But Brandon, the valuable thing is those 5 miles we're going to run every day on nuclear tech. Every day we're going to wake up in the morning at 6 and we're going to run 3 miles, 3 miles, 3 miles, 3 miles.
Well, we have the tech, though. We're just not implementing it.
Don't say 3 mile in context of nuclear reactors. Right. Yeah, because a couple disasters and some idiots in the 60s who couldn't tell the difference between a nuclear warhead and a nuclear reactor, and suddenly we aren't allowed to have the most efficient form of energy known to man.
To be honest, and you know this because you know economics, it's going to be way easier to have a whole human colony living and thriving in Mars than to fix our national debt. And I won't back down from that.
You don't think it's going to add up to our national debt to have a colony in Mars?
Well, you can't have national debt when you're in Mars, Brandon.
No.
Right? Who's going to come collect when you're in Mars?
Who's going to pay to colonize Mars? It's obviously going to be a project of the government.
Fair enough.
All right.
I mean, but this right here is the reaction that most of the internet has been having to this announcement. Can we see the Epstein files? Best I can do is an imaginary nuclear reactor on the moon. Yeah,
literally.
Like, unfortunately, that seems to be the case. Again,
Man, that's not fair.
It's not, but it does show where a lot of people's focus is right now. People have lost ambition for space because there's so many problems that they haven't sorted out on Earth yet. I think we can try to address both at the same time.
My mind is in space already. I'm sorry. Yeah. I left the Earth.
My mind's on nuclear energy. Well, actually, nuclear energy is just like a small like agreement. Like, okay, fine, we'll take it. But like, I wish we could just have the good stuff that they're killing people for.
Yeah, but while we conclude here, I'll have the guys run a poll in the chat because this is the question I want to ask you guys as well. Nuclear reactor on the moon means we have gone to the moon. Means we're back on the moon. There's human presence there once again. If in the year 2025 or between 2025 and 2030, if there is footage of a moon landing, there's construction of a nuclear reactor, would that, for you, put to bed the subject of whether the moon landing was real? So that's the poll. Like, if you see that footage now, see the construction, see the reports and everything, would you believe that the original moon landing took place or that the moon landing is possible? Yes or no?
I think where I'm at is that we landed, but the footage was fake.
That's kind of where I come down as well.
And what really happened was too horrifying to ever show anybody.
I still don't understand how that was broadcast live on TV before the invention of satellite TV. It's like, what was there? Just a cable dangling out the window with a lander all the way back to Earth?
And the dude's talking as he's on the thing.
Mm-hmm.
Like, well, what?
Yeah, it's a little bit odd. I will agree. But there's questions about the footage. But if they show, hey, we're on the moon, there's a nuclear reactor up there now.
Yeah.
And that seems like the kind of thing you should be able to see with a telescope if it's big enough. would that put it to bed? I might be
If
more,
I could
much
look,
more
if I could
inclined.
look at the moon with a telescope while they're there, then I'll believe it.
Yeah, that
I know telescopes are real, Brandon.
You know.
Well, see, what you have to understand is space isn't real. It's the firmament projected on the inside of the dome that we're in, and
It could be a hologram that they're casting onto the moon.
Yeah. So if Brandon is at all indicative of what the answer from the chat will be, nobody's going to believe anything until you are on the moon yourself, and even then, maybe you're just hallucinating.
Now it'd be like easier to fake a moon landing than it even was before.
But harder in the sense of like you have to actually build a nuclear reactor in order to say the project worked. Like if you're trying to do stuff on the moon, you have to actually be on the moon, or else you can't keep just launching things into the sky and pretending.
Well, we'll see.
We'll see. But I mean, at least our ambitions have shifted once again. Seems like we're trying to focus on something bigger than just whatever's going on here.
Pretty big is our national debt. Let's fix that.
No.
So if you like this clip, click right here. And if you want to see more like it, click right here. Stay angry, Patriots.